so let's dig into this one and see what's going on. I'm using all three walking baseline approaches that we talked about earlier in the course. We're in the key of G here. I'm starting on my 13 chord, and I have 2.5, or really 1.5 times through our Travis picking pattern. That's one. That's a half of one. And then I begin my walking bass line. And for that one chord, what I was leading on pretty heavily was walking up from the 6 chromatically. Okay. So whenever I was coming back to the 1 or just repeating a pattern in 1, I was walking up from the 6. When I'm going to the 4, I'm using my single string approach this first time. I'm going to use the G major scale to get up to the 4. And I'm going to use that same scale to get back to the 1. To get to the 5, I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to start on the B, and that's that minor third down from the root of the 5. And then I'm going to walk back down the G major scale again. Okay, second time through using the 6-string approach. Pretty much everything is the same, except I'm trying to stay in position. So I'm still walking up from the 6. When I'm going to the 4, I'm still using the G major scale, but this time I'm trying to do it in position. So I'm grabbing that B over here now, because I want to set up my 4 chord off of the 5th string. And I chose a dominant 7. It doesn't have to be a dominant 7. I could have went to a 9. I just chose a dominant 7. And then getting back to the G, I chose the B there just because it's more comfortable. But it would totally have been fine if you use that B there. It's up to you. Alright, getting into the 5 chord, I'm walking up from B, using the 9 chord, walking down the G major scale again, starting on C. Last time through now. Now we're going to be starting with the root on the 5th string. So we're using our 5th string approach. Chose a dominant 9. Still walking in from the 6. Okay, now when I'm walking down to the 4, this is different, right? I'm usually walking up to the 4. I'm using an F natural, so I'm using a G Mixolydian scale to walk down to the 4. So this is going to make it sound more dominant and give me that nice dominant relationship between 1 and 4. And then back up. Now getting into the D chord, I'm going to use the G major scale. And then I'm going to start on my B flat here, so it gives it a little bit more of a bluesy sound. Okay, so there you see we have our 3 walking approaches all being put to use with our 3 approaches to building the 1-4-5 progression, all based around that Travis picking pattern we learned. So we're starting to integrate all these concepts now into our Travis picking, and it's already starting to get more colorful and more interesting. All right, let's move on to the next study.